record. All right, we are live on the Las Vegas Triathlon Club Facebook page. We are recording. I'm John Mercer, president of the Las Vegas Triathlon Club. Got co-host, board member Bob Gamble. Hey, Bob, how's it going?
Hello, folks. I'm doing fine, thank you. Just scrambling to get everything organized, but we're doing fine.
That's right. And it's a Thursday night and time to do a member spotlight. And I wore my Hawaii shirt because we had such a great time just being in Hawaii, but being in Hawaii with a lot of other club members, and LeAnn Lomax was there, and it was so much fun catching up with her and her husband Randall and her family, and really enjoyed that. And so LeAnn is just just a real positive energy at every time we see her races and just visiting. And so it's going to be great to hear her story tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to Bob Gamble for the official introduction.
Thank you, John. How you doing tonight? You look happy.
Me? I'm doing okay.
You look good. Hey, everybody. Like John said, we've got a very special guest tonight. We've got LeAnn Lomax. And LeAnn's been a member since 2017, member of our club. And LeAnn is half of the LeAnn and Randall Lomax racing team. It's one of the power couples in our club. And as John mentioned, LeAnn is a fundamental, basic, just foundational member of the club. Brings a lot of energy and a lot of fun to the club. And LeAnn has raced marathons and half marathons since 2009. She has been a racer. Started doing triathlons in 2017 or 16. 16. The Paraguna Marathon up near Bryan Head, and has done everything from sprints through halves, several half Ironman, and you have some goals of doing an Ironman, and we're going to talk about that tonight. So before we get started, what's it like training with Randall and being half of that team?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. Training with Randall is awesome. I mean, we start out together and then we just finish together. So there's nothing really to do together, but the nice thing is that we enjoy the time together and the idea and the action that we're doing triathlon together, and that we have that common hobby. But we've always been active. We've always done fun things together. So it's just nice to have such a consuming hobby that we can do together and that we understand. So
a lifestyle and not just an event type thing.
Sure.
And that's one of the things that I want to talk to you about too, is you've got one of the more interesting backgrounds. A lot of people come from running backgrounds or swimming backgrounds, you're cycling, and you come from dance. And so, I mean, which is a heck of an exercise for one. And for two, I think it's really wonderful that a lot of the workouts and a lot of the training and a lot of the races you do are with your family. So what's that like, training and racing with and doing these other races with your immediate and extended family? Tell us about that.
So it's been really fun to connect with my siblings and Randy's siblings as we've gotten older with our fitness goals. And I've done half marathons with my sister, and we connected with Randy's sister and brother, and we went and ran all the Disney half marathons and 10Ks and 5Ks. And
how cool.
And included our kids in that. They were young, so they were doing like the 100 meter dash, or the 400 dash, or the 800. And then I think they both ended with the 5Ks because they aged out. So we do Racecations. That's how we vacation. And we just pull the family along and enjoy the time together. And we would blow up the parks, as we would say. We would do the Disneyland park in a day, and then the next day we'd race, and then we'd race again.
What a cool way to get your kids involved in this.
I mean,
let's go to Disney World. Oh, we're going to do a 5K while we're at it.
Yeah. So the Disney World was a little bit more time, and that was, I think, a little more fun for them because we would see all the parks multiple days. But now they look back on it and they had fun, but it was always the dreading of, do we have to? It's like, you get to. It's not a have, you get to. You have the opportunity, and it's fun. So it was, we run, walk, or we just make it a part of the activity. And we have some great medals, great memories, and it's been awesome. Super
And it
awesome.
sounds like you're letting them know you don't have to win this race to have a good time.
Oh,
You're going to run it. We're going to have fun. We're going to run, walk, and we're going to go to Disney World when we're done.
Exactly. Before,
I love it. I love it.
Before, so we'd be really tired for our races because then fly out the next day. So, but it's been a lot of fun, and we're hoping to continue that as things are opening up more. We've also done like rock and roll races together. Randy and I are the ones doing triathlon. So, but we've really connected. Well, actually, this might be for you, but I'm doing a couple events with my parents. I've done events with my parents and sisters-in-laws and sisters coming up. So I'm super excited about that.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's really neat that it's going across all generations here.
Yeah.
So who's driving this? Where's the catalyst of the Lomax family Racecation? How does this all come together?
We both do. And being active is important to both of us. And so we've done activities together during medical school, during residency. We did ultimate frisbee together. And then it's just kind of, this is what we're doing, and let's find an event that we can do together or we can do as a family, because it's just important to us.
Ultimate frisbee, that's so cool.
So it was really fun.
I didn't know that you did ultimate frisbee too.
Yeah.
LeAnn, have you ever heard of the Mars Ultimate Classic in Mars, Pennsylvania?
No, I'm sure. We played in Ohio, so I'm sure if we qualified for anything, we may have gone there, but we didn't qualify for anything.
Okay. Anyway, there was a guy that, long story short, but they have this classic in my hometown, Mars, Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's fun.
Do you realize that you've added a new vocabulary word to our vocabulary? Racecation.
Yeah, racecation.
I'll be using that again.
Yeah, racecation for sure. Yeah.
All right. So did ultimate frisbee precede triathlon?
Ultimate frisbee, yes.
Oh, okay.
But that was just, we had a great group of friends during Randy's rotations in Ohio. And it was, we're always looking to do something active besides the treadmill or strength training or, playing basketball like Randy did, or, but it's just fun. It's just, we just like to do fun things. And if that is being active and participating on a team and learning something new, we just.
And you said your background is dance.
Yes. So I danced in high school. Before that, it was all other different sports. I just wanted to move. And I had the ability to, so super privileged that I could. And I bring dance into my running and into my swimming, which is interesting, just because of the movement with the music. And when I first started running, I actually would choreograph in my head as I'm running, because it would keep my mind off of something. And then now, when I learned to swim in 2015, it was just the movement. It was very technical, which I kind of base it off of ballet and just being super focused. And but it was just the same movement over and over and over again. So that was super annoying.
And do you go ahead.
Oh, but no, but so it was, so I look at it in the dancer's perspective as in movement and how my body is moving, and it's a whole body feeling instead of just an arm or, what you're doing with your body, and just being conscious that way. And then just diving deeper as I'm a really visual learner. So I actually watched YouTube videos and taught myself how to swim. And then, because I can pick up on choreography really quick and pick up on movement. And once I knew the movements, but now it's learning and understanding what those movements are and applying it and just growing.
Oh, well, that is so interesting.
You beat me to it. That's fascinating.
Yeah. And to make that connection between dance, that is very athletic. And so that's neat to hear that visual aspect of the sport. But I also caught you saying you had to learn how to swim. So I'm gonna hear about this first triathlon. What you said 2016, and what got you into that first triathlon?
So we'd been running for so many years and I just really burned myself out. I wasn't heart rate training. I was following training plans from Disneyland and which were great, but I just really burned myself out and I really had to find a different outlet. I couldn't run every day anymore. And I need to move. It's part of my mental health. It's part of myself and who I am. I need to move. And it just makes me a better person and a better mom and a better wife. And so I secretly, like, I didn't tell Randy I was doing this because he's like this amazing, triathlete who wins and he does all these events. And I'm like, I'm just me. So I decided I was going to start swimming and, I had access to a pool from the gym and just started watching videos and just mimicking truly and just trying to get back and forth and just a lot of positive self-talk and just, trying to get in, I'm going to do 200 today and then just kind of build up to 500 and then, 750. And so, and then I would just go get on a spin bike. I didn't have a bike. I told myself I'd never get on a bike. I never, ever would. Cause why would I get on a bike? I've got to change a flat. What if the chain falls off?
It's
Why
just
would
a
I
pain.
do that? So, but never say never.
Well,
So
I love hearing the progression of the swimming, even just going and trying to do 250 yards, which I'm sure you look at now and you're like 250 yards.
yeah,
But to start off that way is so important to bite off those pieces that you can be successful at. And then you
yeah.
build on it. That's really great that you started off that way.
And before you go any further, I want to jump in here. What I found really fascinating, seriously fascinating about what you did, what you mentioned earlier, was the dance aspect of it and how everything is connected and that it's not an isolated move on any part of your body. It's just it's a choreography. I mean,
Yeah.
that is just and it's like, the foot bone's connected to the hip, the knee bone, and the knee bone's connected to the hip bone, and all of that stuff is a flowing thing.
Yeah.
You've given me something else to think about.
Oh, I love that.
Swimming, and I mean, I'm excited to even get back in the water and think about the choreography of everything working together. That's just fascinating.
Yeah, it is. And for me, and when I learned, it was like this big movement and all these muscles combined, but now truly it's so intricate and, what your head's doing, what your hands doing, what your shoulders are doing, what everything is doing, what your hips are doing. And it's just it's that progression of getting better. So, and it's really helped me truly with my focus as well too, because it's the same movement over and over and over again when it comes to how we swim. So
both of those things are interesting. One is the focus that is really difficult, for me personally. So using the dance analogy, and that's one thing. And the other thing is the rhythm that you're going to get into is going to help your swimming.
Oh, for sure.
The rhythm of, hips, shoulders, head, and I'm excited to get back in the pool. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's also with your stroke too, and how fast your cadence is with your arms and
that's right.
It's all connected. At least that's how my mind works.
You have songs going over in your head when you're swimming?
Sometimes I do. I've swam with music before, but it's really distracting. Because, I can do that with running because your mind can just go. But with swimming, you just have to focus more. Okay. And, every time I'm in the pool, it's for a reason. And it's not just to splash around and float. So I try not to use my headphones, but sometimes I'm in a headspace where I need that just because it was a hard day to get into the pool. Or I'm, hyper focused on learning something. So I listen to a podcast. And so I kind of take that time. And then I just try not to, just because it does take away from the focus of actually progressing.
That's great.
So working on the stroke.
So now you built up enough to do the swim at the race. Yeah. And how did that open water part go?
So it wasn't open water. It was in a pool.
Oh, cool. That's a great way to start.
It was a great way. And it was very, from what we've experienced by the Racecations, it was, we're used to productions and thousands of people being there. And this was just a small town triathlon that was celebrating their Pioneer Day. And they've done it for years. And my sister was living in Paragouna at the time. She knew I was training. And I was like thinking about it, tiptoeing into, do I want to do this? Do I really want to try this? This is super vulnerable for me. You know, and we just decided that, yes, I'm going to do it. And found that my parents came down and they did a relay with cousins and my son and my mom. And then my dad did that. And then my mom did a relay with my daughter and another cousin. And then other nephews did it as well. And so it was just super, super fun. But it was, you know, it was those, you know, that race day get jitters. And I love race day. It's just an awesome opportunity just to start and toe the line. I mean, and I say happy race day to everybody.
Oh,
So
I love
my
that.
God, a happy race day, just because it's just a privilege to be there and to train. And it's just an awesome experience. So,
And that's a fantastic attitude, that it is a privilege to race.
Yeah.
And you look forward to it. It's not a job.
Yeah. When you're burned out and you don't have that and you have to recover, and then you look back and you're, you know, it's a privilege that your body can recover and that you can show up and have a great time. So, because truly race day is the reward and the training's behind you, and you just get to go have fun, see what you can do, and have an experience. So
That's great. And I love it that you picked out this race that, you know, is a good entry to triathlon. So tell us about the bike then. What did you ride? And
so Randy was, you know, super excited that I was a part of this. And so he got me a super fun bike, nice bike that I love, a little roadie. And the bike, you know, you put your bike against the pool wall, right? Because it was just so small.
Oh, this is totally grassroots. I love it.
It's awesome. And then did your swim, people are counting your laps, and it's just fun energy, and it's awesome. You get out of the pool, grab on your bike, and then you just hit those country roads. And it was a sprint. So, you know, so you go from Parawan to Paraguna.
Okay.
And at least I believe that's what it was. Or was it Paraguna to Parawan? I don't remember. I don't think Parawan has a pool.
Whichever way.
I think Paraguna does not have a pool. I think Parawan does. So anyway, but it was just the backcountry roads and just having fun and just seeing somebody in front and wanting to push and just enjoy the experience. And then, you know, just, you know, seeing my dad out there. My dad is an avid cyclist. So it was fun to see him there and cheer him on. And then, you know, so the bike was super short because it was a sprint. And then the run was a little tricky just because it's small town. We didn't know the roads very well. And unfortunately, the volunteers weren't at the corners where they should be. So I got lost and my children got lost. So it was really stressful. But, you know, was able to get to the turnaround spot. And then I had a fellow racer who was super supportive and, you know, was like, I guess he wanted to stay with me and I didn't know who he was. And so he's like, you've got this. And, you know, super great intentions of, you know, wanting to push me, which I didn't need, but, you know, he was coming from a place of, you know, just triathlon. So that was fun, and it was a little interesting, and it was cool to see and let him be and do what he thought I needed, but then recognizing I'm actually in charge of my race and this is my race. I appreciate what he was doing, and I saw that it was from a place of good, and so that was good for me to.
What a great way of looking at that. That's
I know. With great compassion too, the fact that you're going to let him cheer you on because that's where he was coming from.
Well, it's, you know, he was super, I guess he thought I wasn't doing
into it.
I could have been doing, you know, so, you know, and I mean, this is my race day. And so I'm not going to let anybody take that from me. And so, you know, so just talking to him and, you know, asking him questions so I could, you know, kind of be in my zone and kind of keep my perspective where I needed it to be. And I mean, super, super nice guy. So, but it was good for me to experience that and to just recognize that, you know, I am in control. I am in charge of my race. And though someone may see different expectations, I'm still in charge and it's still my race and I'll do what my goals are. And what I give is my, so.
Well, and that's a great way to, it's a wonderful way to look at it because there are all different types of people in the sport, and with these different personalities. And so I think that's really good for everyone to hear, is how you can still let those personalities be who they are,
Yeah.
and still enjoy your race. But I love it that you have the whole Lomax crew there, and
Oh,
you
yeah, this
brought
was,
the whole community into this event.
yeah.
That's so great.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, it was Eric's and Lomax, because these were my
Ah,
siblings,
yeah.
parents. And so, but yeah, it was a great time. I mean, and my family's always so supportive of everything that we do, just because they see how much joy we get out of it, and the growth that we have, the things that we're teaching our kids,
Mhm.
and it's just a fun thing that we connect with.
Well, and what I imagine is that also helps with the journey of getting to the race too, because now you're all talking about what you're doing to prepare for the race. So what a great, way to bring triathlon life into family life, or bring family life into triathlon life, whichever way
Yeah,
that is. So that's
for
fantastic.
sure.
Okay, so what
Yeah.
did you do after your first one?
So
What was the goal at that point?
I did Pumpkin Man, I did sprint,
Yeah.
and that was my first open water. And that was crazy. And as we know, open water, and I've done open water swimming. I would go out with Randy, we would do that. But just the feeling, I remember the first time the race, just feeling the pull. And that was like, what is this? This is a fantastic. And then it went away. I couldn't keep up. But it was an awesome experience. It was terrifying,
Yeah.
but it was, I mean, it was all the emotions, and it was just the mental, keep going. You can float, you can kick, you can, just keep going, and it's okay. So, and, open water has been a struggle for me, but I've really have overcome those fears,
Hmm.
and been able to progress, which is awesome. So, and
Well,
I'm just, every time I go out.
Tell us what it was like when you came out of the water and then you had, what was that, 1,800 feet of climbing.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, I love climbing.
You like that part, huh?
Yeah, it was awesome. Yeah, I love riding my bike. I enjoy the bike, and so it was just super fun to just be a part of it. Just the energy was amazing, and just so happy to be there, happy to toe the line, and just showing up. Truly, just showing up, because I didn't need. I mean, I'm happy being comfortable running, doing these races. I could show up and do an aerobics class. Those were easy things I can do. That will help with my mental health and being able to move, but I chose to do something really scary and love it. And it was awesome. And just the climb up, I mean, it was really cool to see all the different college athletes just zoom past me. So that was fun too. And it's fun to always see Randy on the course, and, he's always looking out for me, which I love. And I'm always looking out for him to see where he's placing. And, it's always the shouts out or the thumbs up. So, which is really fun.
Well, that's great.
It just like energizes life. I mean, it's just, I can tell.
Yeah.
So so you said that this is a neat challenge, not only because of the hill at Pumpkin Man, but also the open water swimming. But it sounds like you've taken that same attitude of progressing, because obviously we went to Hawaii, and you swam open water in Hawaii, and swimming in the ocean open water can be a little more nerve-wracking than open water in Lake Mead, or maybe, I don't know, which way is it?
It's interesting. I don't know. It's both the same. I mean, it's so funny because I'm such a sensory person, and I'm like, oh, you taste the salt water, and you can see the bottom of the pool. I mean, bottom of the ocean while you're swimming, and you've got sea life, and so there's different things how I see it, and maybe that's something that I do to calm myself down. But it's just I just kind of take it. I float in the ocean, and I float in the lake, but I like a wetsuit. So there's those differences there. So, but truly just overcoming just the fear of just the water. I mean, I was taught growing up, we were on a boat all the time growing up. We were always at Lake Powell, and, there was a lot of siblings. So it was wear a life jacket so my mom could have some peace of mind. And so when I picked up swimming and open water swimming, I'm like, I'm doing everything I was told not to do,
True.
So, it is. And not being that kind of swimmer, you go be a mermaid in the pool with your kid, or, you're not swimming laps. So it was definitely a big challenge, but through the years of just being persistent and just going and doing it, just shut up, Lomax, and go do it kind of a thing. You'll be fine. It's that first, you're fine. You're just get out there. And once I'm like, I am fine. This is fantastic, So, but it's just getting past that, that first 300 or even the first 200, sometimes the 500. It's just getting past that. You're like, this is amazing. I can't believe I was so worried about this. So.
Well, then that's a great tip for people to hear because there's a lot of people, swimming is the barrier to getting into triathlon because they are worried about the open water. But just having that mindset of being successful and enjoying it, at least that calms things down.
Yeah.
What else do you do? How do you practice open water within your regular training, or where do you spend more of your time, in the pool or open water, or how do you do that?
Oh, I wish in open water, but it's in the pool. We're out in Centennial Hills, so it's a little bit of a drive. So, but any chance like we get that we go to a lake, if we're up seeing family and we're, at a family reunion and there's a lake, we'll go swim. Or if, it's just any opportunity we'll see. And then, my dad will kayak next to me, or they'll come check on me and see how I'm doing. Then they come back and, but it's just any chance we can get in the open water, we do, but most of the training's in the pool.
That's great. So you keep coming back to family, and that's so neat to hear this merging of family life and tri life. But you're a mom, and you're training for these events, and 70.3s, and Bob said you got the goal of doing an Ironman. How do you, as a dedicated mother and family person, how do you balance family life and tri life? Because tri life can be a little all-consuming as well.
Oh, 100%. I mean, my kids are in high school, so they're, they want to spend time with me, but then they don't want to spend time with me. So I take advantage of that quality time I get with them. But then, but they also have their activities too. And we're really open about talking about, hey, we support you in your activities, we're there to, and everything that we can do. And we love the support back. And so we talk to our kids about, hey, this is our hobby and this is what we do. And you guys are supporting us by being patient with us, or you're getting a ride home from somebody else, and they see it. And so the balance is true there. I mean, I'm lucky I'm able to stay home. I'm a licensed cosmetologist, but I don't practice here. I was Randy's office manager for 7 years, and then decided that my kids needed me more than the office staff. So I'm fortunate I can be at home and I can have a different training schedule. So now with the kids going back, that I do have that time amongst, all the stuff that I do for the family. But so it's been easier to balance. It was a lot harder when the kids were little, just because they required more time and more, and they wanted to be with us more.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. I love this. Now that leads to taking on the next big goal of doing an Ironman. Tell us about putting your sights on that.
It's been on there for a while. It's just trying to, how can my body absorb the training? So that's my key thing, is being able to take on the training and still be able to function the next day, and and have that. So it's in the future. I hope near future. I'm not sure what one I want to do. I haven't decided if I'm going to say no, you're going to cheer me on and stay in the hot sun for all the day, and or if he's going to be doing it with me. So I don't know yet. I don't know if it'll be the same race, or we'll see, but it's definitely in the future. And a lot of it is just being patient with myself and watching the progress and setting goals. And I'm doing a century ride. I'm doing the Goldilocks century ride up in Utah County. So that'll be my first century ride in a couple weeks. And so, and I've done marathons, and I've done, long swims. So I know I have it in me. It's just trying to find that, the goal, the race, and then letting my body absorb the training and just being patient. So
what a great attitude.
That's a wonderful message in itself, is being patient and letting the recovery and letting the training work its magic in your body,
Yeah, truly.
in advance.
Yeah. Well, and just my body changes a lot. So I'm just part of the phase in my life. And so it's just recognizing it and taking it. And then if I need a rest day, I take a rest day. And if I need to take a week, I take a week. But the goal is just to enjoy it and just look forward to a race day and just join the journey truly.
Well, and that's so important. And it's great to hear you talk about just being healthy. I mean, that's
Yeah.
the whole goal is, health at first and then, and then be able to do these races. But I have a feeling that you're going to have to find an Ironman that you can recruit all the Lomax and Eric's, is that your maiden name is Eric's?
Erickson is my maiden
Erickson,
name.
you've got to be able to find an Ironman that will allow for all the new entries from the Lomax Erickson clan. So,
Oh, well, no one else in my family will do the long distance ones. I have a brother that did.
I have a
Yeah,
They're
feeling,
gonna draw the line somewhere.
They
They're gonna say,
have.
oh
They're
no,
like,
that's it.
yeah,
That's
you go
it.
do that.
I have a
So,
feeling you'll have them doing a relay or something.
You
So,
probably
yeah,
will.
that'd be really fun. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. You
Well-
could do that, and then you could share the course with them.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
well, this has been so great talking with you. I love your attitude, always have, and I know when you're not racing, you're out helping with the races, and that attitude is just so infectious, and I love it. And I love the attitude that yes, this is an individual sport, but we don't do them alone. And
Yeah.
this idea of just doing family get-togethers and racecations is just so great. So this has been
Yes.
great to catch up with you.
Yeah, I learned quite a bit just by talking to you. I learned about what a racecation is and how
Yeah.
cool that is to get other people involved, and then to have fun with your training. And John was. There's no doubt in my mind. John was saying, "Bob, are you listening to this?
Yeah.
Just have fun and don't push yourself so hard." And so it's been absolutely wonderful talking with you tonight.
Oh, well, thank you guys.
Thanks
This
for
has been
doing it.
really fun.
All right,
Thank
and we'll see you at the next race, I'm sure. So
Yeah, for sure. Yep, that's on my list.
yeah, awesome. Well,
Good. We'll
have
see
a
you
nice
there.
evening.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.